No, sorry, that's not it either. I hate to be the party pooper here and always bring up what the average everyday consumer is probably going to think when they see this, but once again, tech companies are trying something different with foldables, probably because the Galaxy Fold results have been They're not confident enough in foldable technology that they're not even willing to ship it to people. You have to pick it up in store, and in case you're wondering why I don't have a Galaxy Fold yet, it's because there's not one within 600 miles of my location. They're in extremely limited quantities. So, the solution to the problem is try a completely different tactic without, again, thinking, what does this help with? No, we just need to add features to phones, even if it's not helpful. As long as there's new features, people will be proud of us and give us gold stars. Yay! So today I'm talking about the Motorola RAZR Flip Phone that we're probably going to be seeing in a couple weeks on November 13th, and why I don't think this is the future of foldables. I don't think they've solved it. This is how you do a foldable correctly, and it's very simple to understand. Let's begin. The main thing you have to continue asking yourself with foldable technology: why? Who is asking for this? Why do I need this? Again, it's interesting that you're able to take an OLED display and bend it back and forth. Yeah, okay, pixels, they wiggle. But that has to add some type of feature. And what's funny to me about Samsung now teasing that they're going with this flippable phone design that looks a bit more like what Motorola's doing, because results with the Galaxy Fold were less than desirable, is that Samsung's continuing with their hypocrisy. If you guys remember back with that event where they demoed why the Galaxy Fold is so useful, the whole point is that you had a phone that could fit in your pocket, but you could unfold it into a small, fragile, notched tablet. Cool. Yeah, give me the $2,100 now. But that's my issue here with the flip phone idea, because some people used to have flip phones, right? So that's why this will sell, because of pure nostalgia, right? What does this add? I mean, before at least you had the argument of, I need to be able to store a tablet-sized screen that can fit in my pocket, and foldable tech allows me to do that. There's a billion problems with that concept, but I can understand the execution. With the flip phone idea, I'm having a hard time following you. You can have a normal-sized phone, which, because it's foldable, you know it's going to be expensive, you know it's going to be fragile, you know it's going to be lacking a bunch of features that come standard in most smartphones these days, whether it's water resistance, whether it's, glass on the screen, and it's probably not going to be friendly to screen protectors, which means that any type of damage that happens to this phone is going to be permanent, and it will probably cost hundreds of dollars to fix. Okay, you have all these compromises, but simultaneously the benefit is you can fit it more comfortably in your pocket? Really? Like, how much though? Because I mean, the thickness is not going to be much different from current day smartphones. Once you fold it in half, now it's twice as thick as everyday smartphones. It's not like the weight is going down. You haven't found a way to make a way more light smartphone than usual. It just takes up less length in the pocket. Are you storing multiple things in your pocket and, our everyday long smartphones are just taking up too much space? Well, maybe you'd be able to make that argument if there was still a decent demographic of people that opted for smaller footprint smartphones in today's market so that they could fit more comfortably in their pocket. The thing is, they don't though. Over the past decade, we've seen time and time again smartphone users wanting larger displays. The iPhone 7 Plus was the first time a larger sized iPhone was outselling the smaller size. The iPhone XR was the best-selling smartphone of 2019 with its over 6-inch display, non-foldable, of course, and now we're seeing really, really good sales with the iPhone 11. And even if you want to ignore iPhones and look at what other budget smartphones are selling really, really well in 2019, none of them are really that small displays, which means that most consumers, we like bigger displays so that we can see more content and have it be easier to read, but very few of us seem to be going back to smaller screen phones because they fit more comfortably in our pocket. The only people doing that are the ones buying like the 5.8-inch iPhone 10 size design, which is not the most popular iPhone, by the way. Reports are saying the 11 Pro is selling really, really bad compared to the 11, so you don't really have evidence of people in today's market saying, boy, I wish we still had that iPhone 4 footprint. Those were so much more compact and easier to fit in our pocket. And I know some of you are trying to make the argument, like girls, they have short shorts and they have very small pockets, and this would be great for them because it takes up less space in the pocket. So that's why the foldable phone is going to come back. Well, for one, we're talking about teenage girls with short shorts, okay? They want iPhones with iMessage. You guys know how that works. And they're not willing to spend $1,500 to switch operating systems and use an Android phone that is gonna break as soon as they drop it, and that's not screen protector friendly, and most of them are comfortable with whatever operating system or whatever smartphone they have already. Trying to upsell them on, hey, this will fit in your little pockets a little bit better. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a big enough market for this thing to succeed, especially with the inevitable large price point, which is rumored to be around $1,500 for the Moto RAZR Flip Phone, and I'm sure the Galaxy Fold 2, or whatever they end up calling it. It's probably gonna be a little bit cheaper than the $2,000 Fold, but I'm guessing not by much. I'm betting it'll still be in the $1,500 department, and having these little square tiny bricks that we can kind of use because there's an external screen. I'm sorry, I don't see that taking off, because most of us can just take our phones out of our pockets currently and have the big old screen, have our camera on the front, have our camera on the back. We know that we can drop it and it won't completely destroy itself. And of course, we don't have to spend over $1,000. That's my biggest issue with this whole foldable trend, is that people think that $1,000 smartphones are now mainstream. They're really not. $1,000 phones have kind of pushed consumers to their limits as to what actually people will pay for. And that's why we're seeing so much success with phones that are going the other way in trying to be more affordable and try to be at more compelling price points and just prioritize the things most people care about. Bigger displays, decent camera, decent battery life. We don't need the foldable thing. We don't need the plastic screen. We don't need the crease, which is inevitably going to form. Now, once again, it's interesting tech. It's like, okay, cool, you can bend an OLED display. Good for you. But that doesn't mean this is the future. I've seen way too many creators talking about how they're convinced this is coming, this is going to be the new normal. And yeah, before all of you say, well, if Apple would release this, he would be all over it. No, I wouldn't, okay? I hate all kinds of stuff Apple releases, even if I am a big fan of them. I'm not a big fan of Apple TV Plus, not a big fan of AirPods Pro. I've been using them for a while, and I just can't get a sweet spot with them, and I will rightfully critique them in my review for them. I didn't like the Pro Display XDR. I complain about Apple all the time, so before you try to beat me to it in the comments, just understand you don't know what you're talking about. I criticize Apple all the time when I think they deserve it. So if Apple were to release some type of flip iPhone, yeah, you betcha I'd be criticizing it as well. So I'm sure lots of you disagree with me, so let me know what you guys think of the Moto RAZR Flip Phone, going back to nostalgia, by hitting me up over on Twitter or joining our Discord. This is your Apple Sheep here, and any phone is a foldable if you're strong enough. I'll see you in the next one.